Everybody, I'm Fells and welcome to episode 3 today for the Japanese Grand Prix of our F1 26 My Team career with DF Racing. In last episode, we scored our very first points, which is absolutely amazing. We did have a little bit of an engine issue halfway through that race there, so we got a little bit of resource points then to make up for, and that is the latest performance chart. So we're only just about ahead of the Cadillacs there, and Aston Martin is so far behind they're not even on that chart. But we look on the current standings then. Ferrari lead by, I think that's 20 points then. In the constructors, Lewis Hamilton about 11 points, 9 points, I don't know. Ahead of Lando Norris in second, but now we're just checking our upgrades, seeing if we can do any, because before we get into the Grand Prix we will have an upgrade on to the car, which is quite nice. So we're gonna research some rear downforce, because aerodynamically the car is at least balanced, right? So it might be a little bit draggy, but the car is balanced. So I want to try and keep that balance as much as possible between the front downforce and the rear. But now we can develop this new part that we've got, which is I think it's the front downforce, I think. Whatever that one does. And in 3 days, we will have a part available to put onto the car, which we do. Keyboard assembly, and we immediately develop it again, because obviously we're able to develop one side, which is going to go on to Stanik's car, because we are going to be driving as Begonovich for this race, because obviously we alternate each race. I'm really hoping F1 27 we get our own driver back. Because as fun as this is, driving as both, I prefer just to drive as myself, do you know what I mean? And as only as one person. So yeah, we give that upgrade to Stanik. As now in Q1 we begin our very first lap here around Suzuka. Now, this is not a track that I'm particularly great at. I'm not terrible, but it is definitely one of my weaker circuits, that is for sure. Although next episode is going to be my best ever circuit of Saudi Arabia, so that's going to be fun indeed. But through this lap now then, so just taking it easy, not too risky, not even using the overtake mode or the boost that we get with overtake mode. It's all confusing. As Pierre Gasly is out of Q1, excuse me, and this is a replay then, and into turn 1 the Haas blocks the way. I believe that is going to be Ocon. Or Behrman. Obviously, it's going to be one of those two, you wouldn't, but there we go. We'll see at the end when we see the timing of Scott. We'll go back on board then onto our lap. As I said, not taking it too aggressively, not using boost or overtake, and not really like lifting and coasting too much either, just to sort of get a feel of how this car reacts as we get a little bit of oversteer there as we get onto the power. That's going to lose us about maybe like 3 to 5 tenths there, down this straight into 130R. We actually downshift. Don't even make it actually to 8th gear, which is just the funniest sad thing ever. But we're gonna come across the line. What is it gonna be? It is currently P6 behind Stanik then, with a 1:32.8, and now we go for a second hot lap. These are the same tyres as we were just on. We did a cooldown lap, and now we're doing a full lap in anger this time, using the boost mode. lifting and coasting into turn 1, as you can see. They're not doing too bad, currently 3/10 up. Coming through the S section now. Not doing too badly. But yeah, rounding off the lap now, currently 9/10 up. Gonna be 1 second up as we exit the chicane. What's it going to be? And it's currently P14 with a 1:31.7. So now we're on a fresh set of tyres. We're going to do 1 lap. So it's essentially a one-shot qualifying here now on this set of tyre. Currently down to P18 then as we start this lap. Getting turned in, almost a 10th down then. But as we finish off the lap, currently about 5/10 up. Powering out of the chicane, still 5/10. Almost 6/10. So it's going to be about 5.5 up then. And it is P9, 1:31.1. Is that going to be enough though? As Kimi Antonelli and George Russell look at the front grid in the Q1 then. With Lando almost a 10. Look at that. It's the top 3 then. All separated by under a 10th. That is fantastic to see. And even like the top 10 all within a second of each other. So not too bad. As Leclerc doesn't have quite a great Q1 then. Verstappen still not being able to hook it up too well. Where is Hadjar then in the Red Bull? I'm not seeing him on this screen. As the 2 Cadillacs then are into Q2 with a P9 and P10. And both Williams making it through as well. And there you can see P15. We do make it into Q2 then for the very, very first time. As Isaac Hadjar just about them by about 2 attempts make it in to Q2. As you can see there on the board, Esteban Ocon got a 5-place grid penalty. I'm assuming that's from the contact then with Gasly at the start there. But now we start Q2. These tyres are the set that we use to get into Q2. There's that second set of soft compound of tyre. And yeah, just once again setting just sort of a little bit of a banker lap. Not really pushing too much. Maybe a little bit of pushing just to set a somewhat representative time. Coming through the S section once more. Keeping it nice and tight through there. Wonderful. Going through the double right-hander then. As you can see, keeping it clean so far as we've come out of the last corner. Then Hadjar currently in P1. We go P4 then with a 1:31.7. So not too bad, not too great as we start now. Fresh compound of tyre. Now second lap in Q2. Currently in 16th then, so we've lost a lot of places. Then going into turn 1, little bit of lifting and coasting. We've got caution behind us. I'm sure that's someone getting out of the way. Coming through the S section. Now then we approach the Williams, but he just about gets in the way. Maybe a little bit distracted. We go a little bit wide onto the curb and into the gravel. And that is our lap gone. Oh, what an unfortunate mistake to make then. Just that curb, like if you go across it, like you get stuck on it and you can't turn out then. But we did a cool down lap. Well, that was the cool down lap, I guess, and now we try once more then on the same sort of tyres. If we can, yeah, just make up the time really. 4/10 as we gonna exit the. Oh, there we go, keeping it tight there. 4/10 then actually as we exit the S section. Double right hand and now. keeping it high, about 6 attempts up, and there's going to be 6 attempts as we come out of the final corner. Was it going to be across that line? And it is P14 for our effort. So we can see then Lando Norris, P1 then out of Q2. Antonelli only a 10th behind then. Lewis Hamilton P3, Leclerc P4, so the Ferrari's got the second row locked out. Where is Verstappen? Hold on. He's P7 once again. My goodness, Verstappen does love that P7 spot, doesn't he? Oh, Piastri once again, not doing too great in qualifying. That's very rough as Oliver Behrman, hello, just about makes it into Q3 then. What a fantastic performance from him. We ended the session in P14 then. Yeah, not too bad, but now it is time for the Grand Prix.
We come to you today live from the Mai Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen so many title deciders through the years, some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula One season. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, the only time during the season we race on a figure-of-8 circuit. And the drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Piastri, Andrea Kimi, Antonelli, and Hamilton. Verstappen, Sainz, Behrman, and Arvid Lindblad. Albon, Lawson, Dino Beganovic, and Perez. Bottas, Hulkenberg, Isaac Hadjar, Gabriel Bortoletto, Alonso, Colapinto, Stanek, Stroll, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we go then. Looking at the strategy, it is most definitely going to be a 2-stop here today. And I'm pretty sure every person is going to be doing a 2-stop as we rejig the strategy a little bit, so we're on the soft compound tires at the end of the race. I don't know why the game doesn't do this automatically, but there we go. As now we finish our formation lap around us. Lawson ahead on the softs, Albon ahead of him on the mediums, and the 2 Cadillacs behind then on the hard compound tyres, so a wide variety of tyres are going to be used. As ladies and gentlemen, we now go to 5 red lights. For the Japanese Grand Prix, it is a long hold, but it is lights out and off we go then. Getting a fairly decent start then. The Haas is up ahead, not getting too great as they get swarmed, but go to the left. Lawson cuts us off though, gets us onto the grass a little bit then. Wow, the Ferraris is wide, slows everyone down as we try to push Behrman through the corner then. As you'll be able to hear Mark telling us they were immediately down on power. We're trying to secure this police then from Lawson. He does give up quite a 5. Fair enough. We're going to go for this overtake then on Behrman, but we outbreak ourselves and go into the side of Lindblad. What a horrendous start this is. Oh, goodness me. That is definitely not what we want. It was definitely a little bit overzealous then on the overtake, sort of outbreaking ourselves. Not the start that we wanted. Indeed, but we continue. We keep moving at least. And down this back straight, we'll be honest here. I sort of let Lawson through because I thought Lawson was the one that I made contact with. I didn't even see Lawson. Not Lawson, sorry, Lindblad's up ahead. So I thought we made contact with Lawson, but yeah, it was actually Lindblad, so we let him by for no reason, pretty much. But boosting out now, we've got overtake enabled. Thank you, Mark. Yep. Thank you, Mark. Once again, we haven't heard that in a while. It's so annoying that that Mark keeps repeating that same voice line, or the same similar voice lines. It's like, yes, we know, we get it. Stop telling me. Behrman tried to have a little go last time, but managing to defend well. As now we just need to get our head down. Oh, coming out of the throttle a little bit there. We do not want to get onto that curb. That is absolutely going to be a death. Oh my goodness, Mark, be quiet, please. Then Mark, please just stop. As this is a replay now, then, of the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton going wide, and actually both. Oh my goodness. Both Ferraris go wide as Lewis Hamilton and almost gets overtaken by the two Williams. But slotting in between them. What an absolute, embarrassing start then for the Ferraris. Oh my god. Same time they go wide as well. It's very unfortunate. Lap 4 then. Coming down the main straight. Behrman powering behind us. Not going to be able to make it a move into turn 1, though we do go a little bit too deep. Behrman thinks he can have a go, but we go back to the racer line and secure that spot then. And defend ourselves for P12 in this race. And you just hear throughout the race that our engine just gets worse and worse, gets a lot more sort of croaky. So hear out for that pretty much. We continue this race. Now then, just defending from Behrman as much as we can. So Mark suggests a new tyre strategy. We're going to keep the strategy that we made, because yeah, the tyres are going off, but I don't think they're that bad as where we need to oh my god, look at that. The absolute understeer then. So I think we've got a little bit of floor damage perhaps, or damage of some kind then from our lap 1 incident. As Behrman sails on by into 130R, we make him go defensive and just to sort of compromise his line a little bit. Trying to boost out of that corner. Get a good run, lots of boostage used, but I don't think we're going to be able to make the overtake into turn 1 though. And later on into lap 6, instead of looking forwards, we are most certainly looking backwards now as Perez wants to have a go into 130R. We give him the room, to be fair. And we go very gently on the brake, sort of let him go there, pushing him through the last corner. But now we do have overtake boost enabled. Straight mode on. He fakes to the right, goes to the left, keep the outside line now. And we get the move done even before turn 1. We do go a little bit too deep though. But into the second corner, we secure that P13 spot for the time being. And later on onto lap 7, we are once again being attacked by Perez. Now Hulkenberg overtaking Bottas behind them, as we do confirm 2 box into this lap. So funny enough, Mark's strategy was correct, as we just messed up Perez's line a little bit, just to sort of mess with them as we do come into the pits. Then we are going to switch out from these the soft compound tyres onto the mediums, and while we have a pit stop, let me have a quick sip of tea. So it looks like Gasly and Hadjar are both into the pits with us. Powering out now, trying not to lose it on the throttle. and swoop down into turn 1. Ha. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at our very dirty car already. Goodness me. But then we go back on board then to see lap 8. We've got the 2 Aston Martins of Alonso and Stroll ahead of us, about 17 seconds up the road, so that shouldn't be too difficult to catch up considering the Aston Martin is actually a tractor in this, well, in real life and in this game so far then. There's Liam Lawson,
They're retiring from the race.
and Liam Lawson retires from the race. I'll be honest, in the cockpit, I was genuinely thinking that Lawson was retiring because of our contact on lap 1. But, also, as I said before, we actually made contact with Lindblad instead of Lawson, so that's not our fault. Then lap 9 now. Gasly and Hadjar have taken up. Gasly wants to make a move, but here comes Hadjar making a double overtake then. What a fantastic double pass then into 130R, lining ourselves up. Now we do have overtake, so we use boost now immediately. We keep now then to the outside lines. Hadjar recharges the battery. Behrman coming out of the pits onto a hard set of tyres then. Oh, excuse me, all the hiccups. Only half a second up the roads, but almost like pushing, almost pushing Behrman through these corners here. Again, sort of getting held up because obviously he's on cold tyres at the moment. But then lap 10, we are not wasting any time. We are gonna go down the inside into the hairpin, then go a little bit deeper on purpose, push him out wide, powering out. And that is us now up into P14. And yeah, we were not wasting any time then. So my logic is if we overtake early in the lap, it is easier and better to defend later on in the lap. So we don't actually necessarily have to make the overtake, we just have to be defensive.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trying
As now Behrman 1/10 behind, has a little look down the inside, thinks better of it. Those become now out of the chicane once again onto lap 11. A bunch of pit stops are happening. See if we can jump anyone. We jump Alonso, we jump Ocon, we jump everyone else. Down into turn 1 though. Oh no. We try to swoop round, but we make a little bit of tyre bashing from Behrman then. Thankfully, I don't think anyone got damage off of that though, so all's well ends well. Although maybe Behrman has damage because he's fallen all the way back. That was Gasly overtakes us before 130R. We fake to the right, go to the left. Gasly locks up though, forces us onto the grass. We almost were able to take the escape road there, but decided not to, as Hadjar now is looking for the overtake. He goes down the inside, got a little bit defensive, boost enabled. We swing around into turn 1 and Hadjar just completely forces us. My goodness. Just completely forces us off track then onto that curb. And once again, that curb is, once you get caught on it, it just spits you out onto the gravel. If this was real life, we would definitely be complaining on the radio about being forced off track there, but unfortunately, the AI and the FIA in this game are not that smart, just like in real life. But yeah, we actually let our teammate through of Stanek then. Through, because I thought, you know what, if we're going to be slow, we might as well let him through. But look on the damage. Our front left wing is damaged, and I'm wondering, the only place we've made contact on our front left is that turn 1 incident, not turn 1, sorry, lap 1 incident. So have we been running a damaged wing this entire race, and our engineer did not say anything. Come on, Mark. Like, we could have easily changed our front wing, like, when we first came in. But no. That is why we're getting a little bit of understeered there. I do think as well we have a little bit of floor damage. But, yeah, you can see as well, 67% on the internal combustion engine for the wear. So we are definitely losing a fair few horsepower then from our engine coming through the S's. Once again, trying to keep it nice and clean, not go out too wide. As I have another sip of cup of tea. And, oh, for God's sake, we get on the grass. Oh, so much so that we make contact with Bottas. And, well, our front left is definitely broken now. That is for sure. But that curb is cursed. We understeer onto it. Get shot onto the gravel. Have a little bit of oversteer coming onto the track, and we make contact with Bottas. But now then we are in at the end of that lap. Getting rid of the mediums. I'm actually going to go on to the hard set of tyres then. Because, yeah, there's too many laps remaining to go onto another pair of softs. And I don't think we have another spare set of mediums. So as we exit the pits now, let's have another sip of cup of tea. You can see that Hulkenberg blasting by on the softs he's going to be on. But we are stone dead last now then. As this race like turning from bad to worse pretty much. I don't know. This track has never been my favourite to drive on. I think it shows. Oh my goodness. But now we just keep our heads down really. Try to make up as many spots as we can. Now lap 18, our teammate Stanek comes down to the pits onto a fresh set of hard tyres. And we're just pushing him through each corner now. Now we really need to overtake him. As you can see, we could get quite hard on the brakes then to make sure not to understeer onto that corner. Onto that curb. Coming through the double right-handers, we are going to try and set up a move now into the hairpin. We stick to the right, and it's going to be on the inside, which turns to the outside of the hairpin. A very, very risky move, but it needed to be done. We needed to clear Stanek as quick as possible. And now on to lap 19. Ocon has come up ahead of us. We're going into the Invertake, onto the grass. Make a little bit of contact on his side, so we back out of that then. Definitely a risky move. So we thought better of back out then. Still powering through. But instead of overtaking Ocon is now overtaking Hulkenberg down into 130R. Doesn't quite make it work then, as he tries to go around the outside, but he's not given any room whatsoever. Can we set a move now down into the main straight? Hulkenberg is in off the soft compound tyres. We use a lot of battery now, but I don't think we're going to be able to make the move down into turn 1, so we did a little bit of lifting coasting to recharge the battery. Lap 21 onto the back straight. We've caught back up now. Ocon has caught up to the Audi of Bortoleto, but instead we are going to stick to the right hand side into 130R. Thankfully there's a little bit of extra tarmac then, and instead of the grass, so we keep all of our grip. Side by side now into the chicane. We were given the room, to be fair. We're sticking around the outside, powering out, so we get the move done, but for how long it is. Now both of us are going to have boost mode enabled. He's gonna think about it down the inside. Doesn't quite make the move. We go deep, however, And he does a little bit of look down the inside, doesn't quite make it work. And we retain our 17th position, lap 22. There's a yellow flag up ahead. Looks like a Cadillac or Bottas and is retiring from the race due to an engine failure then. Oh, rough race for Bottas. Then let's get even more hiccups. But now during the main straight, boosting. Bottas is boosting as well, but he recharges sooner than we do. We swoop around into the inside, but there's even more contacts. Bottas. Oh, it's rough because like we had to sweep in there into turn 1 just due to the nature of the corner. But Bottas, he was still there, and we make contacts on the side, so we definitely do now have floor damage as we. I'll be honest. God damn, excuse me. I do these commentary all in one take, but I will be honest then. I was a little bit angry, so I replicate the turn 1 move then, but crucially making it work without any contact. Lap 25, we're pulling out ahead of Stanek. Currently 10 seconds behind Colapinto. We're definitely going to be able to catch up to him. But on to the last lap then, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Russell ahead then, coming out of the chicane from pole position to winning the race in P1. Russell wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Lando Norris is going to finish in 2nd. Piastri 3rd. Lewis Hamilton 4th. Antonelli in 5th, and Leclerc finishing in 6th then. That was a pretty nice camera angle. But back to us, and we still got most of the lap to go. 2 seconds ahead of Stanek then, as now we enter the final chicane. As you can see, 72% then on our engine. Like, I'm surprised we haven't blown up then, but we're going to come across the line into a very, very difficult P15. What an absolute mess of a race that was, as Pierre Gasly gets driver of the day.
Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula 1.
So George Russell then wins the Japanese Grand Prix. It is a McLaren 2-3 then, so fantastic job from the McLarens, getting a very good set of points then. Leclerc, the biggest loser out of this then, starting from P2 all the way down to P6 finishing. Verstappen decided not to make any overtakes today then, finishing in 7th. Both of the Williams of Sainz and Albon into the top 10 points paying positions in PA and P9. Obviously we finish P15 and P16 for DF Racing. And yeah, what a tough race. Definitely a race to forget, that is for sure, as we have Bottas and Lawson retire or DNFing from the race. Definitely, as I said, a Grand Prix to forgive and forget kind of thing. Lewis Hamilton is lead on the driver standings, comes down to minus 3 points now. Lando Norris is on his championship charge then. Hopefully, if he has like a decent enough Grand Prix next time out, might even take over the standings as McLaren close the gap then from Ferrari in the constructors. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is all going to be it for today. If you guys have enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all of that fun stuff. And I will see you all next time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.